Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your game by subscribing to our channel so you never miss our daily content. For exclusive access to our premium betting picks, join our Patreon. Find the link in the comments section below. Stay ahead with High Stakes. Kansas City Royals vs. Cleveland Guardians. Kansas City most recently lost to the Philadelphia Phillies by a score of 11-2. Freddie Freeman planted the only 2 RBI for the Royals, while Michael Massey was the only player for Kansas City with multiple hits on the day. Brady Singer has a poor outing by his standards, surrendering 5 runs on 11 hits, striking out 5 and walking none in the process. For the first time in a while, the Royals are in a position to upgrade their roster for a potential playoff push. Their most recent acquisition was Paul DeJong, who was traded for Jarrod Rosardo from the White Sox. The day before the deadline, Kansas City acquired Lucas Erceg to bolster the pitching staff, giving up Mason Barnett, Will Klein, and Jared Dickey. Even further, the Royals traded Walter Pennington to the Rangers for Michael Lorenzen. While none of those trades make them true contenders, they are at least giving themselves a shot to compete in the playoffs, which I can respect. Cleveland's offense came to play yesterday as they defeated the Texas Rangers by a score of 13-5. Jonkinson Noel had 3 hits, a homer, and 3 RBI on the day, while Josh Naylor had a homer and 2 RBI. Stephen Kwan also chipped in a pair of RBI, while 5 others had an RBI each. Ben Lively was solid in his outing with only 2 runs and 5 hits given up in 6.2 innings. He struck out 4 and walked 1 in the effort. The Guardians didn't make many moves at the deadline, or in the month of July for that matter. Early in July, the Guardians acquired Spencer Howard for cash. It wasn't until the 29th that Cleveland made their next move, acquiring Lane Thomas for Alex Clemmie, Rafael Ramirez Jr., and Jose Tena. The Guardians also traded Jacob Bresnahan for Alex Cobb on the same day. I'm going with the Guardians at home, where they have excelled this season, posting a 40-21 record at home. Considering Reagan struggled in his last start and gave up 4 runs on August 7th, I have to see more from him to put my faith back into him. The Guardians have a top 3 bullpen in terms of ERA in the majors right now, and they are carrying at least some momentum into this game with 2 wins in a row. Kansas City has Hunter Renfroe out, while the Guardians only have pitchers on the injured list. I'll take the division leaders at home with a nice moneyline profit, should the play hit. With exception to their most recent starts, both pitchers have been solid this season in their respective roles. Kansas City has hit the under the majority of their games played this year, and Cleveland has managed only an average of 2 runs per game in 4 of their last 5 games. Kansas City's offense sputtered a bit as well when playing a squad with good pitching. There is potential that happens in this game. Cleveland has never been known for their offensive prowess, and the last time Reagan started, he hit the under. My total pick is under 8.5 runs. Chicago Cubs vs. Pittsburgh Pirates. The Chicago Cubs are looking to get to that next level, but are coming off a 7-2 road loss against the Miami Marlins. The lineup was unable to get much going as they finished 6-for-33 with 5 walks and 10 strikeouts. The team did not hit any home runs, but Ian Happ hit a pair of doubles while Dansby Swanson hit one. Swanson and Nico Horner each stole a base. The team struggled with runners in scoring position as they were 2-for-12 with 9 men left on base. Javier Assad pitched well as he allowed 3 runs in 7 innings of work. The Pittsburgh Pirates have been attempting to get back into the NL wildcard race and were able to continue inching towards that goal with a 4-3 walk-off home win over the Cincinnati Reds. The lineup went 10-for-33 with 0 walks and a pair of strikeouts in the game. Yasmani Grandal's walk-off 2-run home run was the only home run the team hit, while O'Neal Cruz added a stolen base. Pittsburgh struggled with runners in scoring position as the lineup went just 2-for-11 with 5 men on base. Luis L. Ortiz pitched well as he threw 6 shutout innings but did not factor into the decision. When diving into the starting pitchers' splits this season, there is a gap as Jameson Taillon is 3-4 with a 4.65 ERA and a .265 batting average against in 62.0 innings, 11 road starts, while Mitch Keller is 5-2 with a 2.58 ERA and a .228 opposing batting average in 69.2 innings, 11 home starts so far. The ability to keep the baseball in the park is critical for obvious reasons, and there is a difference as the Cubs are tied with the Seattle Mariners for 11th with 141 total homers allowed, while the Pirates are 5th in the majors with 133 total home runs given up so far this season. Go with the Pittsburgh Pirates to secure a win to begin the series here. In the month of August, these starting pitchers are not doing well as Jameson Taillon is 1-2 with a 5.73 ERA and a 1.36 WHIP in 22.0 innings, while Mitch Keller is 1-2 with a 6.75 ERA and a 1.25 WHIP in 20.0 innings. Both offenses also have been able to score a lot over the course of the previous week, as the Cubs are averaging 6.17 runs in their last 6 games, while the Pirates are scoring 3.71 runs in their previous 7 games. All in all, go with the over 8 runs as the better bet. Kansas City Royals versus Cleveland Guardians. The Royals' 2-game winning streak was snapped on Saturday when they fell to the Philadelphia Phillies 11-2 at home. Starter Brady Singer was saddled with his 9th loss of 2024, going 5 innings and allowing 5 earned runs on 11 hits while striking out 5. Kansas City's relief corps let up 6 more runs over 4 innings of work. DH Freddie Freeman knocked in both of his team's runs, and second baseman Michael Massey had 2 doubles in the loss. Shortstop Bobby Witt Jr.'s 11-game hitting streak came to an end. Kansas City's offense has cooled recently, scoring 3 runs or less in 2 of their last 3 contests. The Guardians broke a 3-game losing streak on Saturday when they defeated the Texas Rangers at home 13-5. Rookie Johnskincy Noel, whose nickname is Big Christmas, hit a 3-run blast to help the slumping AL Central leading Cleveland past the Rangers. Noel had 3 hits to raise his average to .266. First baseman Josh Naylor went deep, drove in 2, and scored twice in the victory. Third baseman Jose Ramirez smacked his 33rd home run of 2024. Starter Ben Lively won his 11th game of the season by going 6.2 innings and allowing 3 runs, 2 earned, on 5 hits while striking out 4 batters. Before to the win, Cleveland bats had gone cold, scoring 3 runs or less in 5 of their prior 6 contests. Marsh was effective against the Guardians earlier this season, picking up the win while pitching 6 innings and allowing just 1 run. The Royals have won 4 of the previous 5 matchups with the Guardians, including taking 3 of 4 from them in a series earlier this season. Kansas City has excelled on the road recently, coming out on top in 3 of their previous 4 series, including sweeps in Chicago against the White Sox and Cincinnati against the Reds. They have won 7 of their last 9 games overall. Kansas City has been a solid bet in 2024, winning at a 56.3% clip against the spread. The Arizona Diamondbacks at Progressive Field swept the Guardians earlier this month. The Royals have batted a healthy .286 with a .516 slugging percentage versus Cleveland pitching in their prior 3 games. The Guardians have been struggling, losing 6 of their previous 8 games and scoring 3 runs or less in 3 of their last 4. The stats and trends strongly support a Kansas City victory on the road Monday evening. Take the Royals' money line. The Guardians have failed to exceed 3 runs in 4 of their last 5 matchups with Kansas City. The Royals have pushed or gone under the run total in 3 of the previous 4 games on the road, and their pitching staff has limited their opponents to 1 run in each of their last 4 road games. Kansas City hurlers have produced a 3.21 ERA with a 1.18 WHIP in their prior 10 games away from their home stadium. The Royals have scored 3 runs or less in 2 of their previous 3 games. The Guardians' offense is struggling, generating a lean .198 batting average with a .331 slugging percentage in their prior 10 games. Cleveland ranks in the league's bottom half in multiple key offensive categories, including batting average and slugging percentage, so the odds they score quickly in bunches are low. Marsh allowed 1 run and struck out 5 against the Guardians in June. Most signs point to a lower scoring affair in Cleveland in Game 2 on Monday. Take the under. Houston Astros versus Philadelphia Phillies. This game was published before the results of their Sunday night contest. Ronel Blanco is expected to take the mound for the Astros. He went 3.2 innings, gave up 6 hits, 4 walks, 5 earned runs, and struck out 6 in a no decision in his last start against the Boston Red Sox. Blanco has a record of 9-6 with a 3.14 ERA, 1.06 WHIP, and a 136/55 KBB ratio in 24 starts this season. Opposing batters are hitting .185 against Blanco. This game was published before the results of their Sunday contest. Zach Wheeler is expected to start for the Phillies. He went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, 0 walks, 2 earned runs, and struck out 8 batters in a loss in his last start against the Atlanta Braves. On the season, he has a record of 12-6 with a 2.73 ERA, 0.98 WHIP, and a 170/43 KBB ratio in 25 starts. Opposing batters are hitting .195 against Wheeler. Both teams are first in their division, but the Astros have been the hotter team lately. Ronel Blanco is expected to take the mound for the Astros. Blanco has a record of 9-6 with a 3.14 ERA, 1.06 WHIP, and a 136/55 KBB ratio in 24 starts this season. Opposing batters are hitting .185 against Blanco. Houston's offense has been red-hot lately. They are in the top 10 or just outside the top 10 in the league in runs, hits, home runs, RBI, batting average, OBP, SLG, and OPS. With Blanco on the mound, the Astros will win this contest. Take Houston on the money line. Zach Wheeler has been excellent at home this year. This season, he has a 2.40 ERA, 0.98 WHIP, and a 93/22 KBB ratio in 13 home starts. Ronel Blanco is expected to take the mound for the Astros. Blanco has a record of 9-6 with a 3.14 ERA, 1.06 WHIP, and a 136/55 KBB ratio in 24 starts this season. Opposing batters are hitting .185 against Blanco. While both teams have an excellent offense, they will face outstanding starting pitchers. This will be a lower scoring game and the under will hit. Take the under, 7.5 runs. New York Yankees versus Washington Nationals. It's all or nothing in the Bronx this season, which really isn't too different from the expectations every year. However, this season feels different as the Yankees are out to an excellent 77-54 start. Their .588 win percentage is the best in the American League, but the bad news is that the pesky Orioles are just 1.5 games behind the Yankees in the division. From a sports betting standpoint, New York is priced at -225 to win the AL East, while Baltimore is at +145. It's also worth noting that the Yankees are +500 to win the World Series, trailing only the Los Angeles Dodgers, +340 in terms of shortest odds. The Nationals were expected to take a step forward this year as they continue to develop some of their younger talent. However, that really hasn't been the case as Washington is just 59-72 on the year, which is 17.5 games off of Philadelphia's first-place pace in the NL East. It is worth mentioning that C.J. Abrams, one of Washington's emerging stars, is hitting a respectable .249 with a team-leading 18 home runs. He's swiped 27 bases as well. I'd love to try and make a case for a contrarian play on the Nationals in this game, but I'm just not seeing the path to victory for them. I'll back the red-hot Yankees, who are 4-1 SU in their last 5 games, covering the run line in each of those wins as well. Both starters have looked solid recently, but it's the splits that stand out in this matchup of southpaws. Washington has been one of the worst offenses in the league against left-handed pitchers, ranking 26th in both WRC plus 86 and WOBA .290. Considering Nestor Cortes hasn't allowed a run in either of his last 2 starts, 14.0 IP, I'd give the Yankees a sizable edge here. Let's ride with New York. My team pick is New York Yankees minus 1.5 runs. As I mentioned above, both of these starters are in excellent form. Mitchell Parker, Washington starter, has allowed 1 or fewer runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. He'll have a tall task against the top-tier New York offense, but they haven't dominated nearly as much against lefties. Against LHP, they're a pedestrian 13th in WRC plus 105 and 15th in WOBA .316. I think New York does enough to cover the run line, but I'm not expecting them to go nuclear. Meanwhile, Cortez hasn't allowed a run in 2 straight starts. Between his productivity and a New York bullpen that's 10th in ERA, 3.67, I think they shut down Washington's underwhelming offense. I'm playing the under at this elevated number. My total pick is under 9 runs. Toronto Blue Jays versus Boston Red Sox. Jose Berrios will start the first game of this road series against the Red Sox. He earned the win Tuesday over the Reds, allowing 2 runs on 6 hits and 2 walks over 7 innings. He struck out 7 in the game. He handed out a pair of free passes as he managed to limit Cincinnati's solid lineup to just 6 hits and was helped out with double-digit run support to cruise to a relatively easy win. Berrios now has wins in 3 straight starts, and 4 of his last 5 appearances he's posted a 2.72 ERA in that span, 33 innings. Overall, the right-hander holds a 3.79 ERA with a 1.17 WHIP and 123.46 K. BB across 156.2 innings this year. The Red Sox will start Nick Pivetta in the first game of this set. He was left with a no decision after allowing 5 runs in 5 innings last Tuesday against the Astros. Pivetta's velocity has been fine in 2 starts since he skipped a turn due to arm fatigue, but the results have not been there. He struck out just 2 tonight and gave up 2 homers for the 5th straight start. Jose Berrios will start the first game of this road series against the Red Sox. He got the win Tuesday over the Reds, allowing 2 runs on 6 hits and 2 walks over 7 innings. He struck out 7 in the game, and he has been a strong contributor for the Jays this season. At the deadline, they traded UCI Kikuchi, and they likely will not make the playoffs unless they go on an epic winning streak. Boston is still alive in the wildcard race, but they need every win they can get at this point, and I like Berrios and the Blue Jays to steal the first game of this series on the road. Take Toronto moneyline. The Red Sox will start Nick Pivetta in the first game of this set. He was left with a no decision after allowing 5 runs in 5 innings last Tuesday against the Astros. Pivetta's velocity has been fine in 2 starts since he skipped a turn due to arm fatigue, but he has been getting lit up. He gave up 2 home runs for the 5th straight start. He's allowed more homers in his last 5 starts than Chris Sale, Tanner Houck, and Logan Webb have given up all season. Expect another mediocre performance against a Blue Jays team that has seen him a lot over the last 3 seasons. As long as Berrios gives up a run or 2, this game will go over. San Diego Padres versus St. Louis Cardinals. The San Diego Padres have been hitting well this year as they are 8th in MLB with a .744 team OPS while averaging 4.73 runs per game. The team has been doing an okay job at hitting homers as they are 13th in the bigs with 151 total homers so far. Left fielder Jurickson Profar has been hitting well as he has a .864 OPS with 21 home runs, 79 RBIs, 75 runs scored, and 7 steals on 9 tries. The St. Louis Cardinals have been an okay offensive team as they are 20th in the sport with a .697 team OPS while scoring 4.09 runs per game so far. St. Louis has not been able to steal too many bases as they are 22nd in the majors with 71 stolen bases while being caught 22 times. First baseman Paul Goldschmidt has been struggling as he has a .672 OPS with 19 homers, 49 RBIs, 59 runs scored, and 8 stolen bases without being caught. When looking at how these starting pitcher splits look, there is a difference as Randy Vasquez is 2-3 with a 6.08 ERA and a 1.32 WHIP in 41.2 innings, 8 starts on the road, while Kyle Gibson is 2-3 with a 4.62 ERA and a 1.63 WHIP in 64.1 innings, 12 starts at home. The bullpens have a slight difference as well, with the Padres being 13th in the bigs with a 3.90 reliever ERA, while the Cardinals are 9th with a 3.66 bullpen ERA. All in all, go with the St. Louis Cardinals to win here. These teams are going to be able to put up runs as they have been in the last 12 games, as the Padres are averaging 5.17 runs per game while the Cardinals are scoring 3.33 runs per game in that span. Both teams are susceptible to giving up home runs throughout the season, as San Diego is 13th with 142 total homers allowed, while St. Louis is 15th with 144. Go with the over as the better bet. Detroit Tigers versus Chicago White Sox. The Detroit Tigers head into the finale of this 4-game series with their eyes set on a sweep against their division rivals. The Tigers have now won 7 of their last 10 games and seem to be hitting their stride at the right time. If they are able to complete the sweep, they will improve to .500 on the season and can keep their playoff hopes alive. While currently in 4th place in the AL Central at 65-66, ESPN still gives the Tigers a 2% chance at playing in October this year. This Tigers lineup has ranked in the middle of the pack in 2024, scoring 556 runs so far this season, and have recently been led by their young budding star Kerry Carpenter, who comes into Monday with a .917 OPS on the season. The Tigers' bats have been hot this weekend, scoring 27 runs through the first 3 games of this series. The Chicago White Sox are on the verge of history this season, but not in a good way. They enter play on Monday, having just lost their 100th game of the year on Sunday, and currently sit in last place at 31-100. The White Sox are currently on pace to break the 1962 Mets record for futility and could go down as the worst team in MLB history if they become the first team to fail to win 40 games on the season. Nothing has gone right for the squad from the south side of Chicago in 2024, ranking dead last in baseball in runs scored with just 408 on the year. That is 75 runs behind the Marlins, who rank 29th in the league. Perhaps surprisingly, the White Sox have only allowed the second most runs in the league this year, with opponents putting up 684 runs against them this season. Things have not been better of late either, as the White Sox have lost 8 of their last 10 games and are on the verge of being swept by their division rivals. To have any shot in this one, Chicago will need a stellar pitching performance. The Detroit Tigers should win this game, and I am hammering them at -150 against the lowly Chicago White Sox. The Tigers are hot right now, having won 7 of 10, and have dominated this series so far through the first 3 games, and should be able to close out the sweep of the White Sox on Monday night. The Tigers lineup has been clicking lately, bolstered by their young star Kerry Carpenter. Any amount of runs may be too many for the White Sox, who rank dead last in runs scored, well behind the 29th place Marlins. While Ty Madden is making his MLB debut for Detroit on Monday, he should feel very comfortable against what is effectively just another minor league lineup. While Davis Martin has pitched well in limited action for Chicago this year, it won't be enough to make up for the rest of the team's shortfalls. My team pick is Tigers to win. I am taking the over of 8.5 runs in Monday night's game. The Tigers so far this series have been absolutely hammering the ball, averaging 9 runs per game through the first 3, which would be enough to hit the over by themselves. While they may not be able to enjoy quite that level of success again on Monday, they should be able to score plenty of runs still, both against Martin and late in the game versus arguably the worst bullpen in all of baseball. Despite their massive struggles at the plate this year, Ty Madden for Detroit has yet to pitch in the big leagues and struggled this year in AAA, so the White Sox should be able to plate at least a few runners in this game to hit the over. My total pick is over 8.5 runs. Miami Marlins versus Colorado Rockies. The Marlins were able to avoid a sweep by the Cubs with their 7-2 victory on Sunday. The win halted a 5-game losing streak, though the club was 4-8 in their last 12 games. In that stretch, the offense tallied 50 runs and slashed .254, .312, .427 with 14 stolen bases. The team has drawn just 311 walks on the year, the fewest of any team. Hitting in the leadoff spot on Sunday, Connor Norby took advantage with a leadoff home run in the bottom of the first, his 4th long ball this season. The rookie infielder went 3 for 4 with 3 runs in the win and has hit safely in all 6 games he has played in for the club. The Rockies got smacked around by the Bronx Bombers on Sunday, losing 10-3 as they dropped 2 of 3 in New York over the weekend. Over the last 15 days, in a stretch of 13 games, Colorado's offense put up 51 runs and hit .240 as a team with 130 strikeouts. They scored 553 runs over 131 games this season, and the club was slashing .243, .305, .398. In Sunday's loss, Ryan McMahon doubled and drove in a run. The third baseman is hitting .245 this season, and he is second on the team with 25 doubles and 57 RBIs. McMahon has reached base in 7 of his last 8 games. When these two met back in early May, the Marlins swept 3 games at home with an average margin of victory of just 1.7 runs per game. As expected, these two teams are about the same across the board, which is why they are now battling each other to remain out of the NL basement. Cabrera has had a mixed bag of results this month, but has shown glimpses of being a very viable starter moving forward. Both of his wins have come on the road this year. Feltner's return to the Rockies rotation is certainly a plus for the staff, but this being his first MLB start in a few weeks, there could certainly be some hiccups. The Rockies have gone 6-17 in games that he has started and 1-6 in his last 7 outings at home. Miami is just 22-39 on the road this year, but Colorado is 29-33 at home, the second worst mark in the NL. Take the Marlins. For the money line. In their 3 earlier meetings this season, the over went 2-1 and the clubs combined to average 9 runs per game. The over has hit 137 times this season between the two teams. The offense isn't the main reason things hit the over when these two play, it's the pitching, or lack thereof. These are, statistically speaking, the 2 worst pitching staffs in baseball. Colorado gave up 10 runs to the Yankees on Sunday and allowed 6 or more runs in 3 of their last 5 games. Miami's staff yielded at least 6 runs in 4 of their last 6 games. Even the low-scoring offenses on both sides are capable of taking advantage of pitching this badly. Take the over.